Hello everyone. I'm back with another video, and in this video I'm going to cover application insights on Microsoft Azure using ASP.NET Core Framework web app. So in this video I'm going to basically cover just a few things about application insights and how it may help you with your own solutions, and I'm going to cover only a few things such as why you should consider application insights and how to integrate application insights, and then finally I will move onwards and show you how you can perform analytics on your applications and its performance or the usage easily on Microsoft Azure. I won't be going any deeper, like it's just a 1,000 feet overview of application insights, but I'm going to work on another course that would help you understanding every teeny tiny detail about application insights. So you should check out and look for that course sooner. So first of all, I would like to show you what I have today for you. First of all, simply a very basic application insights uh, service is going to be created, and then later on it will be integrated to an ASP.NET Core web application. As you can see over here, it's just a simple newly created ASP.NET Core web application, and I will show you how you can integrate application insights. But first, let's go back and create it. So okay, yeah, sure, let's create it, and we'll set up a few things. Normally, sample AI app, perhaps. I hope it works. But better make sure you choose the correct option over here, because one of the fact about application insights is that it works on Java applications. For example, it works on web applications as well as on native desktop or other software applications as well. So you should select the option. For example, if you have a mobile app, then you should choose this one, or Node or General. For example, if you have a .NET Core application running on Linux environment, then you should definitely choose General, and then you should integrate the SDK in your own application. So I'll go ahead with the defaults. I'll continue with testing resource. Yeah, we're good. I'll give it a while. Okay, so it will deploy, and then it will allow me to integrate it with the ASP.NET Core application. Let's go back, and as you can see, this is simply a newly created ASP.NET Core application with everything set by default, the index, action, about, contact, error, etc. And yeah, so the beauty about Visual Studio 2017 was that it allows you to have a look at the services that you're currently holding. So Application Insights itself is primarily a service, a connected service to be precise. And so, for example, you can get started with the Application Insights right from here. And in Visual Studio 2017, this new page is a really very cool feature. So you get to have an overview of everything like services, or how to publish it, or building, etc. You get help right from here, and there is another feature, help viewer, and some downloadable ebooks and other journals were also published recently by Microsoft, so you should also look into that one. So yeah, deployment has succeeded. Let's go ahead and open it up. Although it's not important that you open this one first or you open that one first, the only thing that I want to show you here is that this is a sample application insights app or package or service, whatever they call it. And then all that you have to do is you have to get the instrumentation, or what do they call it? Let me check it once again, because I forgot it perhaps. Yeah, it's instrumentation key, and all that you require is this instrumentation key, and then later on you can integrate it over here, but since we're using Visual Studio, the integration is really very much simple. So all that we are going to do is, let's right click, hopefully it works. Yeah, okay, so click configure. Okay, I think it requires me to sign in. Perhaps it will automatically do that for me. I hope so. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, let me sign in and I'll get back to you in a while. Yeah, so we're back. What I did was I just went ahead after logging into my account. I went ahead and changed the resource. It also provides me an option to create a new application insight resource or select from one of my own resources that I already have. So basically, you can connect 2 or 3 different applications in a single package and continue to work on them all together. These are a few other settings. The amount of data that gets collected per month, and the additional data. For the data basically is the data about the events, the way user is going to use your application, performance metrics, how long does the page, and all that kind of stuff is going to be charged against data. So one gigabytes per month is included with this one, this free application insight package. However, there is another package, the enterprise one, which has a different pricing model, and you should definitely look into that. I'm not just saying because I'm just saying the fact that you should look into that. I'm saying because I personally think the enterprise version is a bit better one as compared to the standard one. Standard one, if you have to try something out, then you should definitely look into the standard one. But if you're going to implement this service into your production application or your web application or your software, then you should definitely look into that one, because it allows you to work not just as a software, but as different nodes. So it allows you to have different nodes, such as different softwares, and they all collectively work as different nodes, and the data gets collected from all of those nodes and so on and so forth. So there is a bit of difference in that one, and the data retention and other features about this particular package. So let's go ahead and register it. These are a few other stuff, features, and privacy statement if you're concerned about this. Let's give it some time, and it will finish soon. Yeah, so let's finish it up. It is sending telemetry to the sample AI app, code lens, diagnostic tools are reading telemetry from the same, sending publish annotation to the same. Publish annotation is a different concept, and I will be covering it in a different one because it becomes very simple when once you integrate Visual Studio Team services in this module. And since I don't have to talk about Visual Studio Team services, so I won't be covering this one. However, this is just going to tell you that the resource that all of the telemetry is going to be stored in. So finally, as you can see, the SDK has been added right over here. Then the application has been registered, published, annotation configured, etc. right over here. This, in my own opinion, I should go ahead and click this button, and you should also, but only when your application is in production state, or only for the applications that are currently running in production, not for your testing suites, etc. So I will be leaving this as it is. Now let's go back and have a look at our application overview. Okay, right now it shows nothing because there is no data. However, the beauty of Application Insights is that it allows you to collect data even if the application is currently running on your own machine, like as you debug the application. So I'll just go ahead and debug the application. I'll run it on Express, and let me drag it a bit down. Okay, there it is. Fine. As you can see over here, it is also showing the events that took place in Application Insights. So basically these are the events such as page load, how much time did it take to load this page. Let's go back, see, it increases, uh, and then next page, this one, actually I'm just trying to add some of the data to my store back there on the Azure. Nothing special, nothing more, nothing less. So as you can see, as I'm trying to mimic the actions of a user. So from that point of view, as you can see over here, okay, I cannot select it. All of those 20 events were for Application Insights, and the Application Insights is going to store all of that information on Microsoft Azure. And then later on I can collect for example, information about where the request came from, who sent the request, what user ID he had, and so on and so forth. So basically, at the moment, it is just the most general information about the user performance, or the availability of my application. I can extend all of the functionality using Application Insights SDK, which is available to download for any of the language, Java, C Sharp, even C++, or even you can write your own SDKs, because it is open source and available on GitHub, so you can look into that as well. And so I think that the data might be uploaded, because Microsoft claims that the data gets published right away, like in a few seconds, but I have not seen that kind of responsiveness from this service, at least not yet. So I'll try to refresh it and see if the data was there. Okay, so data was there, no failed request. Should I go back and try to break it? Okay, never mind. Okay, so as you can see over here, it is showing me the server response time, 142 milliseconds, page view load time 5 seconds, server request, how many requests were there. I can even open every section of this, explore it and read it. It is actually going to help me out in understanding how my application is being used. As you can see over here, which of the pages are being used, request method, how many requests were sent, and a few other details about that particular operation. Similarly, server requests, basically it's not different one, so it won't help you understand. As you can see over here, the only difference is the URL and nothing else, because the request was sent from the similar browser and everything was similar right away. So that is one of the reasons why the data over here that is being shown won't make any or much sense to you at the moment. Okay, so I think the ASP.NET part has been played, and we can just go ahead and see how we can now analyze the data. First of all, let's go ahead to Metrics Explorer, and the Metrics Explorer allows you to explore particularly everything from within the Azure. So let's go ahead. If you can see, it says click the add button to configure this chart. These charts are basically the general ones, and you can add more charts, delete, and perform any action, such as like I'm going to edit this chart and select the type of data that I want to see. So let's say if there are any page views, yeah. So if I add this, it is going to show me the page views, how many page views at this time, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this cannot be checked. Events, and 0 events, so that is why it did not show anything over there. So I can select the rest of the stuff from here, such as dependency failures or other exceptions, server, etc. So basically the point is that the Matrix Explorer is going to help you out in analyzing your data and like slicing and dicing it right from within the Azure. And there is another tool provided, the REST API, that you can use to build your own solutions. Like for example, if we go back to Matrix Explorer and you can see there is just a chart. However, you can extend the chart. Like for example, you can, like what did we have? For example, if we go back to page views, at the moment it's showing the area. We can convert it to line, we can change it to bar, etc., etc. But what if what if you want to process it in a different way? What if you want to analyze it in a different way? What if you want to like connect multiple metrics and then generate something? However, it is possible right over here if there were some data page view. Which of these can be selected? Server requests, is that available? Let me check. Yeah, sure. So for example, if you see over here, you can see that it is showing both of them right over there. But what if you want to like cross merge them or like generate something else out of them? You cannot do that from within here. There is uh, REST API that you can use, and or you can also try to export the data. There is a feature, continuous export, that you can use to export the data. So this was basically the ways that you can use to like analyze the data or export the data. There are a few other features about application insights, like availability tests. Application insights will itself try to ping your application after a few or a few time, because there are different time periods provided: 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So you can choose which of them do you need. And so the final thing that I want to cover in this is the analytics. Basically, application insights provides you with a SQL like framework or language that you can use to execute commands and get the metrics for your data. The difference in this metric explorer and the analytics is that analytics are SQL based and you can write your own queries. However, matrix explorer is just a graphical and you have to use only the weapons that you are provided with. So let's go ahead and have a look at the application insights analytics suite. Okay, so the first time you come here, you should definitely go ahead and have a look at this one. You should go ahead, load some random data. You should learn the basic queries, how you should run the queries, which queries are available, which SQL statements are available, because all of the SQL statements are not available here. It is perhaps uh, what can you say? It's perhaps a mixture of LINQ and SQL in most ways, and that is why it took some of the features of LINQ and some of the features of SQL and then merged them with the bash, because there are some things like the pipe sign, where you feed the input and so on. So basically this is somewhat new language that you are going to see, but the similar language. So let's go back and have a look over here, Matrix Explorer. Okay, so I have to do this again. Page views and page views load. Okay, I can't do that. Yeah, so let's as you can see over here, you can always perform this action. And if I go back in Visual Studio and I try to click the home page and other pages some more time, I can definitely get some more data flowing into this chart right over here. As you can see, it tells me which of the pages were clicked, about page, browser, and the URL or page view, time, etc. It contains all of the information in a graphical format. So if you go over here, you can see it contains all of the information about my current session with the application that I had. However, if we go over here, the basic interface I'm not going to explain at the moment, but a new tab can be opened and a new query can be written. These are a few of the tables. For example, since we're talking about the SQL-like in SQL-like language, these are a few of the tables that we can select from, or if taken into the link, you can consider them as the collections. So for example, traces, page views, requests, dependencies, exceptions, they're all variables or the collections or containers. So yeah, which one was that? Page views, perhaps. Yeah, so let's go over here and write page views. Sorry, page views. This, as you can see over here, what it does is it takes that table, and from that table it continues to chain the commands or operations, unlike the previous SQL where you do something like this and then you select page views. Unlike that, what is done over here is that you first of all write the name of the table or the collection from where you have to select the data, and then based on that data you chain the operations. So for example, if I'm going to do this and then I'm going to there's a command take, let's say I know I want to take the top 5. It's like saying select top 5 and so on. So this is exactly the same one. So if I do this, so what it does is it selected page views and took the top 5. Which top 5? That we don't know. We can always sort them or order them. Order, like for example, order by let's select any of the column from here. Perhaps duration. Duration would be most notable. Duration, ascending or descending. I think descending would do it. So it will select all of the page views, order them by duration in a descending order, and then take the top 5. Let's do that. As you can see, these are now these are now the top 5 page views ordered based on the duration in a descending order. We can perform the similar operation based on other columns like session ID, user ID, name, timestamp, etc., etc. There are some other operations, and as you continue to write and chain the commands, you can easily see that there are several different commands provided. So you can, in fact, as a matter of fact, for example, if you have like 10 to 15 pages and you want to group them, since there is no group by command over here, so as you can see there is no group by command, then you have to perform some other operations. So there are a few options like such as summarize, or there was another reduce, etc. So you have to do the or otherwise distinct, and then based on that column you can like select the distinct data sets and then perform operation on that. So this was pretty much simple, and you can always perform query perform the operations or filtering right in on the result as well. So for example, if um, okay, if I have to select this one, perhaps this one is equal to or is less than, there won't be any 500 filter. Yeah, so as you can see, based on that one, it filtered this, so I can clear the filter as well, and so it returns that all of the records. Another thing about this is that all of this operation is going to be performed on the cloud. So this is the information about your request. It took this much time, and this was the number of records that loaded. So if we go back and do this, so let's see what happens when we do this. So basically there were 17 records, but since we selected only top 5, take 5 and go, so it selected only the top 5. Now for the final act of this today's show, I want to show that you can, since we rendered a graph here, this shows a very fine way when there is an activity. So for example, if you have a graph that comes like around over from there, and which is easy to visualize and understand the way traffic is coming in, going out, losing, raising, etc. And it's not very much easier to understand what's going on from here, even though we can tell that the duration for the home page was way too much, then it dropped, then dropped, then dropped, and then dropped. However, let's say if there are like 17 records or 1000 records, how are we going to do that? So in that case, we can always render the information using the charts. So if I do this, let's see what happens. So this makes sense, a lot of sense. So as you can see over here, now we can easily visualize that the home page is taking the maximum of the time, because we are taking page views, ordering them by duration, descending order, and the maximum of the time is taken by home page. Then there is this about page, and then the contact page, and so on and so forth. So even if you have thousands of records, so let's say yeah, as you can see over here, there were 17 records, and all of them records were merged, and this visual was generated. Frankly, there is a way to even change all of this in pretty much simple metric. So as you can see over here, you can change all of this data. There's one, and I think there's just one, or there's two. So you can change how the data is presented to you, and similarly you can even write all of these queries, store them, export them, save them, send them to your boss or friends or whoever is working on the similar project, so that they can also visualize the same data. You can also save the data, perform other actions on the data, so that it's really very much easy and simple for everyone in the team to visualize it. And just as we saw, although we were rendering the pie chart, at the moment we have donut, we can always change it back to any other type. So for example, if someone in your team enjoys reading charts, so he can convert it back to this one. Or if someone like wants only tables, he can go back over here, and so on and so forth. So it's entirely up to you. And so I think this concludes the video. And so in this video I covered how you can integrate application insights, how you can create a new application insights package or service, whatever they call it, and how you can integrate it in .NET ASP.NET Core applications, and how you can send data to it. Now, since we have already integrated the application insights, once you publish it, for example, on Azure, the configuration is going to be delivered automatically, and so that when once it reaches Azure, and you, like for example, you start using it, or your users start using it, they will start feeding the data to this graph, and as time passes, this graph will start to make sense, and then later on you can perform your own analysis, because the queries that I have shown you are not enough. They are way too much less, and just too much generic. So as you can see over here, join, limit, there are several other queries that you can perform and run analysis on your data. And also, like I mentioned, you can all the time export the data as well, so that you can run your own custom analysis on all of the data that you currently hold or your customers are providing you with. So I really very much hope that you enjoyed the video, uh, or learned something from the video. Kindly subscribe to my channel so that the next video comes right into your inbox. Thanks for watching.